The film starts with a town. We see a man named Vincent who goes to a store and easily steals a bottle of liquor. Surprised, the owner of the store does not even know. We know that Vincent's son is standing outside the store, whose name is Ian. He has some magical powers, one of which is that he can create a false scene, such as illusion, etc., which is not even happening in reality, and Ian can show everyone that false thought. The viewer has to believe that lie because it seems absolutely true. One of his magic also works on the owner of the store. This is why his dad easily steals the bottle of liquor. Because of Ian's powers, he has already done a lot of thefts, but has not been caught yet. Vincent came out of the store after stealing. Some girls were passing by here. A girl says something in Ian's ear, which distracted him and broke his magic. The owner of the store sees that the bottles of liquor are missing. He found out that the man has stolen those bottles, so he comes out with a hammer. But before that, attacking Vincent, Ian does his magic again. To stop the woman, he shows her such a thought as if Ian has a gun in his hand, and he is going to shoot her. As soon as the woman went to him, Ian shot her. Believing this to be true, the woman fell down. Taking advantage of this, the father and son ran away from here. But seeing this, a policeman comes there and checks the woman, who was obviously fine. She was not shot. But now the police officer starts following both. Vincent started getting angry at Ian. What was the need to use your powers in front of everyone? Ian says, why do we do these petty thefts? Let's rob the bank once so that we will be rich. But Vincent says and refuses that you cannot fool the bankers, because as soon as they see your powers, they will catch you, and God knows who will test you. But Ian does not understand who the father is talking about. Now the policeman was after them. He had to save his life. So Ian uses his same power again. He shows the policeman such a scene as if there is snow on his car. The car had an accident. It turned upside down and stopped right next to a petrol pump. In the CCTV, we clearly saw that the car stopped straight because this accident was a delusion, a false thought. This whole scene was also seen by a woman, Adrienne. She praises her colleagues that you did a great job in finding Ian, so we understand that Adrienne was following Ian, and now she calls someone and tells them that we found him. Anyway, both the father and son came to their place, which was a broken ship. Here, Vincent shows Ian his mother's picture. He had told Ian that your mother has died. I raised you alone. But Ian was not happy with such a life because he was not happy with the restrictions imposed by Vincent. His dad did not let Ian go out. He used to say that you are special. It is not safe to go out. You are not an ordinary person. Now the policeman who was after them, he comes to a bar and tells his friend about that accident. The man sitting next to him heard everything, who was not an ordinary person but a mutant. He also had powers, with the help of which he gets information from the officer's mind. As soon as this happens, the officer is unconscious. We know that in the story, these mutants are called perceptors. There, Adrienne comes to the place of her father and son with her colleagues so that she can get Ian, whom she has been looking for. These people used to work for a secret agency. Earlier, Vincent also used to work for that agency. That's why Adrienne and Vincent knew each other. But then something happened that everything changed. These people kill Adrienne and ask her about Ian, but he keeps his mouth shut. It turns out that Adrienne is a scientist, and the agency for which she works, her job was to experiment on people like Ian, because it was the agency that gave them such powers. They made these humans, these perceptors themselves, by putting a special kind of formula in them, with which these mutants became humans with superpowers, who fought the war very well and won the war for their country. But later, the government was in danger that these superhumans, these mutants, may become against us. That's why the government killed all the perceptors one by one. Adrienne says that now there is only one perceptor left in this world. We will catch him very soon. She was not talking about Ian here, although he also had those powers. But that perceptor was not being said because he was born from a perceptor, which was impossible, because perceptors cannot be born. That's why Ian was a miracle that Vincent has been hiding for years. These people find out that Ian has gone to a gaming zone, where that perceptor had also come to find Ian. Now Adrienne was talking about this last perceptor. He was no one else but this perceptor, who was sitting in the bar, who had read the mind of the police officer. He found out that Adrienne's people have come to catch Ian. That's why he tries to distract them, because of which there was a commotion there. Bullets are fired, people start running in fear. In the meantime, Ian sees Perceptor. He found out that he is also a mutant. But before Perceptor goes to him, Adrienne's people put a helmet on Perceptor's head. But we see see that he is so powerful that without even seeing him, he was fighting them. But it was too late fighting him because Adrian had already taken Ian with her. Adrian also puts on that helmet and takes his blood sample. Then after bringing him to the agency, she tells him that many people are working against this agency by misusing their powers. The rebels who work against the agency have made an army of their own, which also has a head. Ian asks, but what do I have to do with all this? Adrian tells him that if we hadn't brought you here, then Perceptor would have killed you because he is the last remaining Perceptor of awareness. He has more power than you, and he wants you to support him. If you don't do this, he will kill you. And now I want you to work with us. I want the formula of Perceptor in your blood so that your powers can be activated or deactivated. And yes, your dad is also with us. If you want to meet your dad, then you will have to show me your powers. She says, come on, make me a human being. That is, make a false thought of a human being. Ian refuses to do this. He says it is not possible. I tried many times, but I have never been able to become a human being. Adrian says, okay, make a false scene of the beach and the sea. Ian tries, but he can't do it. Adrian says, this is happening because you have no idea about your powers. Recognize your emotions. Use them because you can do this through feelings. She reminds Ian of his childhood and shows him a picture of his mom. Out of anger, Ian also shows him a false scene of the sea and the beach. Now here, Ian also made a fly, which Adrian had told him. She says, now you take this fly to the real world, which only I can see, because this is your power. You can make reality. Ian tells her, if you want me to do this, then let me meet my dad first. Adrian took him to Vincent, who was unconscious. Adrian tells Ian that your dad has always lied to you. Ian doesn't believe her. She says, if you want, you can see in Vincent's mind, which was also Ian's power. Read anyone's mind, which was also done by his Perceptor, reading the mind of a police officer. And now Ian also goes into his dad's memories. He sees that in the awareness lab, where Adrienne and Vincent used to work together. Ian's mom was also there, who was a Perceptor, but when Ian's mom was missing from there, so Adrienne stole Ian, which means he is not Ian's real dad. When Ian came to his senses, Vincent fainted. Adrienne tells him that this man cheated you, kept you in the dark all your life. What if your mom is alive? Adrienne meets her dad and tells him that no doubt Ian is powerful, but if he understands his third power, then we can kill the head of the rebels. Now we will learn about this third power later. Now a fighter girl who works in awareness, who was Adrian's companion. She comes to Ian and tells him that these people don't know who will test you, so it would be better to run away from here. I can help you. After that, Ian liked it, and he agreed. Perceptor also changed his base and entered the agency. The fighter girl took Ian and started running away from there, although the soldiers try to stop them, but she was very good at fighting, so she kills everyone. She takes Ian and his dad and leaves from here. When the agency Perceptor found out that Ian has run away from here, so he starts following her. But Ian, with his powers, cheats everyone and runs away from here. These three went to a hotel. Ian befriended that fighter girl, but now Ian was very worried about Vincent. He wanted to know who my real dad is and what happened to my mom. The fighter girl tells him that you can see this thing in your dad's mind. So Ian starts reading his dad's mind again. He finds the address of the lab from where Vincent stole Ian. Ian was very angry with his dad. That you have hidden the truth from me all my life. And now that he had found the address of that lab, so Ian thinks that my mother may not be there. So he decides to go to the lab. But to go there, he needs money. So despite refusing his dad, he does not take any money from the bank through a fake check. Although the cashier found out about this, some people followed him, but she also cheats them and comes back to the hotel. When Vincent regains consciousness, Ian tells him that I am going to the lab where my mother was. Although Vincent explains to him that I lied to you all my life to save you, but because Ian did not trust Vincent, so he goes to the lab with the fighter girl, but Adrienne tracks them. She found out where they were going. Perceptor also knew this, so he kills Adrienne's people who had come there. Ian and the fighter girl come inside the lab and start searching. They found all the files behind the secret wall, which was all the lab data. One of them was the file of Ian's mother. When Vincent came back to his ship, Adrienne also came there. She asks him to help her, because at this time, Ian needs you. You are his dad. So Vincent agrees. Perceptor comes in front of Ian, and because he was more powerful than Ian, so he catches him by showing him false thoughts. He does not kill him. He just tells him how the agency used him. He made people like you and me in the lab, and then made his own army, meaning agency, which is called awareness. He then tells about the head of that rebel group. He says that Perceptor was very powerful. He saved the lives of a lot of people and made his own team. This is why the agency is after him, so that they find him and kill him. He says that I need that formula so that I can make more people like me and take revenge from the enemies, because Perceptor cannot give birth to a child. On this, Ian says, then how did I get born? Perceptor answers, that's why. That's why you are special. This is really a miracle. You are the first person who was born from Perceptor. Then Adrian's men come here. That's why Perceptor sends Ian and the fighting girl from there and starts fighting with Adrian's people. He makes false thoughts for a while, but then he was caught the moment a helmet was put on his head. Now he was not able to use his powers. While Ian and the fighting girl ran away from here, Adrian's people brought Perceptor to the lab. They tried to extract the formula from his body, but they were disappointed to know that the formula was mixed in his DNA, because the real thing was that they had lost the formula somewhere. Perceptor leaves from there, and now Adrian was looking for Ian. Ian went to the place with the fighting girl where his mother was, and today he meets his mother for the first time here. His condition was not good. He was in a coma due to shock. He was also very injured. Seeing his mother's condition, Ian was very angry. He thought that maybe she is dead. But then Perceptor also came here. He tells Ian that your mother is still alive. That's why Ian now goes to his mother's mind with the help of his powers, where he sees his childhood. He found out that the formula behind Adrian was actually made by Ian's mother, and he put the memory of that thing in Ian's mind so that no one could know about it. And now in the real world, Perceptor tries a lot to take that memory, although Ian did not let him do this. But because of this force, Ian's mother dies. This made Ian very sad. He also gets very angry, and now he wanted to vent his anger on Adrian and his companions, who had also reached there. And now here Ian's third power also appeared, and that was that he could control many people's minds at the same time. In this way, he killed many people, but no one could do anything to him. That's why Vincent came here to stop him. He shoots himself, which made Ian come to his senses, and now for the last time he checks his dad's mind. He found out that actually Ian's mother had told Vincent to take my son far away, to a safe place. That means Vincent did not deliberately steal his child. Seeing this, Ian was sad. Now he apologizes to his dad, and with this, he dies. Now Perceptor uses the fighter girl to get the formula. He points a gun at her and threatens to kill her. Seeing this, Adrian tells Ian that there is no fighter girl. This is just a trick. Perceptor put the false idea of the fighter girl in your head. When Ian noticed this, he also believed that there was no fighter girl from the beginning. In fact, he made a fake character and put Perceptor in my head. That's why Ian shot him without listening to him, which finally killed Perceptor. Only the fighter girl was left, because it was a character made by himself, and she was walking in the same world. Then we see the scene after a while, where Ian and Adrian were in the graveyard. Ian tells him that I have lost all those people who were my own, who cared about me. Adrian tells him that we care about you, because we need that formula anyway, for which we can need you, because if we get that formula, millions of people can be saved. On this, Ian says that I will think about it and tell you, and they leave from here. Adrian's boss tells him that why didn't you kill Ian? He is now of no use to us, because he does not have the formula. On this, Adrian says that if I felt that he was of no use to us, then I will kill him myself. Ian listens to him, and he had decided that I will not support him, because he knew that Adrian was unaware of the fact that the formula is in my mind, which my mother put, and if she knows this, then the experiment on me will start again, and one life will be broken again. With this, the film ends here.